When children are abused or neglected and they have to be separated from their family for their own safety, where do they go? Well, ideally with another family member or maybe a close family friend who meets the requirements to care for the child. But in situations where that's not possible, social workers look to approved foster homes. And if none of that is an option, then they may come here to Beaumont, to Harmony Haven Children and Youth Center. This is a short-term transitional shelter that provides support and resources. And we're talking on the podcast today with its new executive director, Julissa Castillo. She's shedding light about how this facility operates, the support that's available here, and also how they're meeting some challenges to help this shelter as it moves forward. Here's my conversation. Julissa, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time, for being here. We appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Talk to us, let's start with this. So you're Harmony Haven's executive director. You came onto the job, it was last summer, so that'd be July 2025. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you come to Harmony Haven? What attracted you to that?
I think it was really an opportunity that was offered to me. I have been in child welfare for approximately 25 years and have ran programs related to foster care specifically. Specifically for the past 17 years, I was involved serving all of Southern California, contracts throughout Southern California. So I moved on and continued to work on my own education and earned a master's in business administration, and I think that prompted me for what's my next leadership opportunity. What brought me to Harmony Haven is the opportunity to be able to partner with the county. Being in foster care for as long as I have been, this is really an opportunity to strengthen the services and supports that we provide to our children and youth who are impacted by child abuse and neglect, and most importantly, looking at what else can we do? Can we do anything differently?
You're essentially seeing this program from its infancy up. I mean, that's what's happening in your role, right?
Yes.
Talk to us, let's talk about the campus. It's a big campus, first off.
Yes.
It's 121 acres. This used to be the Child Help Merv Griffin Village. So for a long time, 45 years, this was already a place that was a temporary foster care shelter. But then fast forward to May 2023, it's sold. Riverside County decides to buy it. Why did the county jump in? Can you talk about the need for Harmony Haven?
I believe that it was a much needed decision to be able to serve children and youth who at the time may not necessarily have the immediate needs met when it comes to their placement. And it really afforded the county an opportunity to have an immediate way to address the emergency needs of caring for children, where there may not be an available foster home, a family, a relative care provider immediately to take on a child, right, when they've been impacted by child abuse and neglect. So I believe that this was an opportunity to begin to serve in that capacity while really considering additional services and supports with a foresight thinking.
So let me just break this down. Harmony Haven, it's a temporary shelter, right? This isn't permanent. Yes. And so if a child is removed if a child has to be removed, unfortunately, from their home due to suspected abuse or neglect, this is a place where they could come to receive services if we're not able to place them into a foster home right away. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's correct. We are a 72-hour temporary shelter placement, and we try to work under that expectation to try to match the children and youth as soon as possible. However, sometimes those challenges are there due to the fact that there may not be an opportunity for an open bed where the child could be transitioned into right away within the 72 hours. And so what we have done at Harmony Haven is really looked at how can we continue to provide the services and supports that they need at the time due to their traumatization, due to loss and grief of where they were living, with their community, their friends, et cetera. And so we are really looking at collaborating and formulating a holistic approach to addressing their needs when it comes to the feelings that are bigger that they can express. There are challenging situations where there's aggression. There may be behaviors that are not so easily managed, but we at Harmony Haven are really focusing on training the staff to be a more therapeutic environment where we can help them learn how to self-regulate and apply that energy in a different way. And so
are these children and youth with complex needs, behavioral health needs, things like that?
Not all of them, right? Because sometimes we just don't have the family. But in other cases, it's the family is not equipped to deal with their immediate needs, which are complex, right? There's layers of educational, behavioral, maybe even juvenile delinquency and or psychiatric mental health. And so while they're at Harmony Haven, we partner with Riverside University Health System. We partner with Office of Be Well. We partner with other nonprofit organizations in the community that we contract with that can come to Harmony Haven and support us and provide those services and supports to the children and youth during that interim period until they can get placed.
So give us a few examples of some of the services that both DPSS as well as these partners that you mentioned provide to children and youth there.
Absolutely. We have a community partner that has come in and has really engaged not only the children and youth, but also the staff through a lens of creating a culture, a milieu of holistic healing. And there are rallies that are held at our gym at Harmony Haven, and they involve a combination of activities and engagement that really helps the kids feel safe. It creates that sense of connectedness and bonding while increasing their psychological safety. And we also have the more managed type of care, such as with substance abuse counseling and equine therapy, that our children are taken out of off-site to complete equine therapy, along with, for example, we also have a mobile dental hygienist that comes on campus. We also have Cal Baptist University that comes on campus with a health clinic. So we've really created a immediate needs type of focus at Harmony Haven for all of the children, because you have to remember the children are coming and going. So they're not intended to be there for a placement, if you will. And
this isn't a rural setting, right? I think that's important to mention, that it's, and I'll let you speak to this, but is that by design, that it's a calming environment?
Absolutely. Harmony Haven sits, like you said, 121 acres. Harmony Haven predominantly uses 12 acres of that property, and we use the property to really engage in some of those therapeutic practices, where it's essentially a ranch, and it offers an opportunity for hikes, for walks, for alone time, if you will, that the children can still be supervised and observed, but they can embrace and connect with the environment as well.
What are some of the questions that you get from the public about Harmony Haven? And do you feel that there are misunderstandings even about what happens there?
I have had a couple of questions in regards to why are the youth allowed to behave XYZ, right? Maybe they go out to the community, maybe they engage in behaviors that are not necessarily approved by community members. The piece that's important is for all of us to understand that these are all of our children, right? They're part of our community. And if we don't have the supports and systems in place to be able to provide that next continuity of care to transition them into, then that becomes yet again another traumatization to the child. And so one of the challenges is the why. Why can't you do this? Why don't you take away their phones? Why can't you just keep them? Why can't you lock the gates? And the reason why is because children in foster care have personal rights. And we at Harmony Haven must adhere and ensure that their rights are not violated. And so for us, That cell phone, absolutely, it may be a cell phone that distracts them or that impedes them from being focused on themselves and what they need to really be considering as positive ways to engage. However, we also have to remember that a youth may run away, particularly those that are older teenagers, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And if they do, we still want to have a linkage to them. Removing that cell phone away from them could be detrimental.
Right, because that's their connection to friends, family.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we were talking about is, just the fact that these children and youth are there, it's temporary. We're not able to place them immediately. Our social workers and our staff are working on that while they're there in this interim capacity. Can you talk about just the needs for more foster homes and how the public can help?
Definitely. The way that our community can help is by considering to become a foster parent, to become a foster family, and to educate themselves on the process. We are a county that really focuses on how to assist and support families to do that. And we're here to do a warm handoff in that process. So we definitely want to encourage families to consider that, especially those individuals that have already raised their children that are empty nesters. This is a great opportunity for you to contribute to the community and really be a positive impact on one of the children and youth that may not have their immediate family right now. And so they can fulfill that need for them. I think also for those individuals that have thought about, I want to start a business, unfortunately and fortunately, right, having a residential care facility is a part of a business process that we can support, that we can help you with so that you can be more specialized and really consider having a 4, 6, 8 bed type of facility that you can help us be a transitional home for our kids that have more specialized needs.
We're going to offer an 800 number in just a moment where people can take action if they want to open their homes and their hearts to a child that's in need of a foster family. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time to come on the service station. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to foster or adopt a youth in Riverside County, you can call the number that's here at the bottom of your screen. It's 1-800-665-KIDS. Again, 1-800-665-KIDS. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, review. That helps us make the podcast better, and we'll see you on the next episode.